Hey guys, I just came across this video from Adam Carlsen about why he stopped being a digital nomad, and it kind of blew up recently, and as it seems like many people are interested in this topic, I wanted to react to it and give all my opinions on the reasons why they stopped being digital nomads, as I have been digital nomad for the last 2.5 years living here around Southeast Asia, and I'm never gonna stop this, so I wanna give my opinion on everything they're discussing in the video. And I have my coffee ready here, so let's start.
Being a digital nomad can look like a dream. You can live in any amazing country that you want, work a few hours here or there, maybe even by the beach, explore amazing places and cultures, and then move on to a new country whenever you want.
I mean, yeah, I think many people have this idea of being digital nomad that you're just like hanging on the beach and just like having your laptop with you in cafes and on the beach sometimes and just chilling and doing all these amazing things, because probably that's what you see on Instagram. But obviously most of the time being digital nomad for people means that they do a lot of work, because you always work way more if you work for yourself, for your own business, instead of like being just in a normal 9-to-5 job.
Girlfriend Sally and I did just that for over a year. So why did we stop and move back home to Copenhagen in Denmark? Let's talk about it.
It's interesting because after a year I was living this lifestyle, I definitely didn't feel like going home. I feel like the longer I've been living this lifestyle, I just couldn't move back to Finland and just like live the normal lifestyle anymore. Like there's just no way.
We actually kind of stumbled into being digital nomads. Before going nomadic, I started doing freelance photo and video gigs, and Sally, my girlfriend, was doing freelance social media marketing jobs. And well, we both did this as kind of side hustles alongside our studies and our real jobs. But we were kind of reaching a point where we realized that working these 9-to-5s that we were studying for just wasn't for us.
Yeah, that's good. Like you're probably also this kind of person who don't really want to do 9-to-5 if you're watching my videos, and you want the freedom to be where you want and work when you want, and definitely that's the best option then, to have a freelance or your own business or something like this.
Just have more, well, freedom in our lives and not be stuck working 9-to-5 for someone else. And we kind of wanted that to happen as soon as possible. But we weren't making enough money at the time to go full-time while still living in Denmark, because Denmark is one of the countries that has the highest cost of living in the world. So my genius idea was that we could just go traveling.
I mean, yeah, that's also like the cost of living in Bali or Thailand or Philippines, Vietnam, all these countries, like it's so much less than in these countries. Same for me in Finland. Like if I want to do my business and live in Finland, it would be much harder. Of course, there's many other benefits of being here for the business, especially for me being YouTuber. Of course, like there's not much interesting content can be made in Finland, so it's nice to be able to be here. But in general, also just for the connections and learning from other people, it's much better to be in this kind of place that is full of entrepreneurs, full of digital nomads, full of people who are like-minded and do similar things, than be back in your country where everybody just working most of the people work 9-to-5.
Kind of leverage that we were getting paid in a strong currency. Most of our clients are from Denmark, so would pay in Danish krona, and so that's just what we did. And voila, I guess we were now digital nomads.
Yeah, a lot of reasons why to be digital nomads in the beginning of the video. Let's see what are the reasons why they stopped. But yeah, generally when you start your business or freelancing or anything like this, or even like remote work part-time, you can live quite nice lifestyle here with like even not being so successful yet. So in the beginning especially, it's really like beneficial to actually just move to Bali or like stay long-term in this kind of country that is way cheaper to live.
First, we had kind of planned to do this for around 6 months. So we had rented out our apartment for 6 months, but we actually ended up doing it for, I think, 18 months before now moving back home to Copenhagen, where we are right now. So, I mean, obviously we liked being digital nomads, as we kind of extended our original plan with an extra year. But if it's so amazing being digital nomads, why not just continue that lifestyle?
That's interesting. So they were planning to be 6 months, and I think that's actually can be quite good in the beginning to just plan for like some time and see how it feels. But also he said that they rented their apartment in Denmark, so basically they were not really committing to it. Like when I moved here, I just like I didn't have any apartment in Finland, and that's the main thing. Of course, if they rent it, then it's okay, like they're still not paying for nothing. But yeah, I feel like if you have some kind of ties to your home country like that, then it can be a little bit difficult to actually feel mentally that you belong here, like this is your home now, instead of being just like having this trip.
I think being a digital nomad is kind of a very particular lifestyle, and I guess every type of lifestyle has its pros and cons. And for us, some of the pros were that we would be able to live comfortably for a lot less.
I mean, yeah, there's always pros and cons, and I definitely talked in my videos about the cons of this lifestyle. There's not that many actually. I think the main is that you're far away from your family and friends, from your home country. That's pretty much the only like big one for me.
We were able to travel a lot, so usually we would stay in kind of one place for a long time, maybe a month or a few months. So we could have some kind of a home base in the area, and then kind of travel from there and be staying at a place that had decent Wi-Fi and good basic amenities, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good mindset to have. I always around at least 1 month in one place. Like that's the bare minimum. For me, it has been quite good that I'm a little bit longer in Bali always, like more like 4 or 6 months. And then I travel during the rainy season and I'm a little bit shorter times, but minimum of 1 month. So anywhere from like 1 month to 2 months I try different places in the Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam.
And over these 18 months, we've just made some insane memories that we're just gonna keep with us forever. Then some of the cons for us though is obviously not seeing our family and friends, and that's probably the biggest con of go long periods of time without seeing our family, our friends, and that sucks.
Told you. Yeah, that's a big one.
It's also actually just a lot of work. I mean, we spent so much time kind of doing research on places, booking flights, booking hotels, just travel planning, and the traveling itself, getting from one place to another, getting settled, learning where everything is in this new place. It's just kind of, it takes a long time, and it also can be like quite taxing, I guess. Kind of you have to start over all the time you get to a new place, a new location.
I mean, yeah, I agree that it's really tiring sometimes to travel. Like I kind of hate traveling nowadays because I've done so much of it the last years. But basically, that's the whole point of digital nomad lifestyle, in my opinion, that you are staying longer in one destination. It's not about traveling. Like basically, of course, in the beginning, if you've never been in these countries, there's some research you need to do. I recommend my Bali guide if you're coming to Bali. There's everything you need to know. But after a while, you know how things work. For example, if you're like me, you want to be in Southeast Asia because it's affordable, it's safe, it's really nice lifestyle, it's just like the full freedom of everything, and it's nice food, and like the people are the nicest here. The countries here are kind of similar, like everything works kind of the same way. You just rent a scooter, you find nice accommodation that is clean and nice AC and everything, good air, and yeah, like in the beginning, of course, you need to know like what are the nice areas and everything. So yeah, there is some research to be done, of course, if you don't know anything about this destination, but quite quickly you will learn like how it is. Like it takes only a few weeks to feel like a little bit more home in the place you are staying. So for example, if you come here to Bali, you check my Bali guide, you know what are the best areas to stay. There's a lot of recommendation for like places to stay. So it's quite easy, and if you stay in Bali for 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, you basically do just one little piece of research and then you set for quite a long time. And at least for me, like then after a few months, I feel like I kind of want to start planning for something else. So especially after like 6 months or something, like it's nice to start planning, okay, what is this new place I want to go, like in Thailand, like Koh Phangan, or Vietnam, Da Nang, or Philippines, Siargao, like start to a little bit check, like, oh, what are the nice places here, like what I can do there, what are the food here, what are nice Airbnbs, and just like doing some, like it's nice to do some research sometimes, and just like booking the flights and accommodation and everything, like it's not too bad when it's like, you only do it a few times a year.
It can also be quite hard to actually maintain good routines. Of course, it's always a choice, I guess, but it's a lot easier for us to keep good habits and routines if we're in an environment that's kind of set up for us to do just that.
I really disagree with this point, because for me, when I'm staying here in Canggu, in the beginning, it was really hard to have a routine because I was traveling all the time, but that's the mistake. Like, if you don't travel all the time, I find it so much easier to have a nice routine here in Bali and in Canggu than I had in Finland, because here there's so much nice things to do. It's always nice weather during the sunny season, so you can always go outside for a walk and get some sun. You can always go to a nice gym, you can go to do nice yoga, surfing, paddle, boxing, everything is affordable. Like you can really do so much so easily. because you have a scooter and everything is like just a few minutes away. So it's super easy to just do anything any day. Like if I feel like here, oh, maybe I should go to the gym now. It takes me like 5 minutes, I'm there and really enjoying in a nice gym and having sauna and ice bath and everything. But in Finland, like if I'm like, oh, maybe I should go to the gym, like it will take a while to go to the actual gym, and then it's not so nice because it's just inside and maybe it was raining and there's many issues with that. And here I feel like it's just easier to get into the flow of living life because it's so much nicer and everything is so much easier.
I also think that we got, towards the end at least, a little bit experience numb, if you can call it that. Because we were doing so many amazing things and seeing incredible places like all the time, it would just become the norm. We wouldn't be that amazed when we would go to an incredible waterfall or stay in an incredible villa or something, because now this was just the norm for us. And I don't like that very much. I like, kind of being amazed when arriving to a new place.
I actually relate to this a lot, what he's saying from the beginning of my journey here in Bali, because I also did that mistake that I was traveling so much that I didn't feel like much anymore, because I was just always in a new, because I also did collabs from Instagram with the hotels here in Bali, so I was traveling all the time, being in nice hotels and like seeing so much new things. So I was like starting to feel like bored with it because I was just doing it all the time. And yeah, that's definitely a mistake. I feel like all the issues they were having so far, it was just because they were traveling too much. And it is not a nice feeling. I know it from myself also. But that's the thing. Like if you treat living in Bali or any of these destinations the same way that you would live in your home country, you're just having a routine, you're enjoying life, you're focusing on your business or your work. So then sometimes, like as you would in your home country, sometimes you will do a trip. Sometimes you will go to explore some new place. And sometimes you will even have a proper holiday, the same way you treat it here. So when you're just staying in your home, for example here in Canggu, then you treat it as just a normal work week. So this way you can actually just enjoy having a nicer lifestyle here than in your home country. And it's more affordable, there's more like-minded people, more activities, more nice things to do. But it's still like a normal week, you're still focusing on business, building your business. And then sometimes it's nice to travel.
So I don't think I can say if being a digital nomad is good or bad. For us now, it's just the time for the next phase. So we loved the time we were spent as being digital nomads, but now we're also really ready to just move on and to this next chapter or phase where we are staying here in Copenhagen, having this as our real home base, close to our friends and family, and then being able to travel as much as possible from here.
Maybe for some people that actually works, but I also think that maybe they didn't give a full try for being the digital nomad in the way that I see it the best way is, as I've been talking about staying a little bit longer in places and not traveling all the time and just finding the things to enjoy in these places. It's also really nice to sometimes stay longer in Koh Phangan in Thailand. It's a little bit different than here in Bali. Sometimes in Vietnam, sometimes in the Philippines. Every place that I visited so far, they have a little bit different lifestyle, little different people, little bit different foods, little different activities. Like for example in Siargao in the Philippines, it's more like a little surf town vibe, little island vibe. So the people are more chill and more like just chilling and doing things outside and always surfing and skating. So it's a little bit different vibe than here in Canggu. It feels like more like a city. There's more options for everything here, but it's nice to have these different lifestyles. It feels like I've been living so many different lives the last 2 years because I've tried to live in many different places. So in my opinion, it's definitely a really nice thing to experience it like this.
Because in the end, I think for us, what's most important is that freedom to choose how we live our lives. So is it really worth becoming a digital nomad? And I think that's a very personal question that only you can answer, but you will never know if you don't try it.
I think for them, for sure, like maybe it's good to have that freedom to travel a lot from their home country. And yeah, for many people, I think that's a really good solution. But then, of course, there's many negatives with that also. Like if you're having an apartment in your home country, then you pay way more when you then travel and it's a little bit more hassle. And it's not so like full freedom of just like being super free to be anywhere and not think about apartment or something in your home country.
Being a digital nomad is probably not as glamorous as it can seem when looking around online. But I think we went into it with pretty realistic expectations, just kind of knowing what we wanted to get out of it and what we wanted to do, which is why I think we were not like underwhelmed. And I think we kind of knew what we were getting ourselves into.
In a way, it can be quite the same as you would imagine. Like here in Bali or like any of these destinations, I eat out every day. I never cook. And yeah, it's really nice. Like I go watch sunset on the beach every day. I go do all these activities almost like, yeah, pretty much every day, paddle, boxing, like all these things. And I drive around with my scooter and everything is simple and easy. I meet a lot of people here. It's super nice. But of course, like I made videos before about like how I feel mentally actually here, and sometimes it has been quite tough. So I think that's one thing to remember, that there's problems in life always, even if you're here. And also with the traveling, probably, yeah, on social media, people just showing like the highlights of always traveling, being in different places. And maybe that's also why people often come here and then they travel all the time, because it feels like that's what you're supposed to do.
Because honestly, most days we would just be sitting at home in front of our computer working. But at the same time, if we wanted to, we could go on an early morning ride to the nearest waterfall or a beach before coming back and starting our workday. We could go out eating every day, which is not something we do here in Denmark because it's just too expensive.
I mean, that's the beauty of it. Like the point is kind of that you will have a business or work that you actually enjoy, you're passionate about it, you wanna work on it. Like I wanna work on my business. Like I wouldn't be happy just like relaxing on the beach and traveling all the time. So that's the beauty of it. Like you can do what you want to do actually in life. You find it meaningful. And at the same time, yeah, you have the freedom to go to the beach, to surf in the morning, or go play paddle, or go to the gym. Like it's just the freedom to do what you actually want to do. And balance in life is so important. That's what I found. Like it's better to work every day and then have some fun every day and meet people every day, instead of doing like just like all the time working or all the time meeting people, having fun. Like it's better to have this balance of doing everything all the time with the freedom to choose like when you want to do this and that. Then yeah, it's the best.
And we would like quite often take a full day off or several days off and just go on some really epic adventure. And I think that's the part that has really made it worth it for us, is all the adventures and everything we have experienced while being digital nomads.
As they were here as a couple, I wonder how it is for them to meet people, because when I was still together with Grace, my ex, we didn't really meet so many people, but when I'm alone I meet so many people. So I think also it's a mistake sometimes for couples to just be together all the time, because the life is so much more full and interesting when you're meeting all these people here that are like-minded and do different things. So maybe that's also something that can affect the situation a little bit, because of course, like when you are with someone, you don't as easily like get to know so many new people. You just kind of like more comfortable being together. And I can imagine in that situation, especially like, you really miss your friends because you don't see anybody else than your partner.
So how about you? Could you ever see yourself becoming a digital nomad?
Yeah, let me know. Do you see yourself being digital nomads? What do you think about my opinions on these things? I think it's really interesting video, and I think it's good that there is videos like this, so you get more of the reality. What do you think? Like in the end, I would think that for many people, the things they discussed here are not so much an issue if you do your lifestyle in the right way, I would say. But anyway, like the video and subscribe for more videos from Bali and all these countries and digital nomad content. And thanks for watching. See you next week.